How we doing, guys? Hopefully everyone's doing good. Um, Today I'm going to be talking about speech code theory. Speech code is a historically enacted, socially constructed system of terms, meanings, promises, and rules pertaining to communicative conduct. It deals with enthography, the work of a neutralist who watches, listens, and records communication, as well as records communicative conduct in its natural setting in order to understand a culture's complex web of meanings. Three things that um, it deals with as well is rhetoric, which is both the discovery of truth and persuasive appeal. Honor, a code that grants worth to an individual on the basis of adherence to community values. Dignity, the worth of an individual, or the worth that an individual has by virtue of being a human being. And then it also deals with psychology and sociology. Psychology, in the book, it says every speech code contains a notion of what it means to be a person within that speech community. Obviously, it can have a completely different, or there can be many speech communities and speech codes as well. Just depends on where you live or where you're from. Sociology. Philipson writes that a speech code provides a system of answers about what linkages between self and others can properly be sought and what symbolic resources can properly and efficaciously be employed in seeking those linkages. It also deals with close, open, and supportive relationships. Close relationship contrasts with distant affiliations where others are kept at arm's length. Basically, you just, you have your best friends, and then, you just have your friends, and sometimes you wouldn't tell them the same things. Open relationships in which parties listen and demonstrate a willingness to change are distinct from routine associations where people are stagnant. Supportive relationships in which people are totally for the other person stand in opposition to neutral interactions where positive response is conditional. It also talks about initiations, which would be like if a friend voices a need to work through an interpersonal problem. It deals with acknowledgement. The confidant validates the importance of the issue by willingness to sit down and talk. Negotiation. The friend self-discloses the confidant, or the confidant, excuse me. The friend self-discloses, the confidant listens in an empathetic and non-judgmental way. The friend shows openness to feedback and change. The last one is reaffirmation. Both the friend and the confidant try to minimize different views, and they reiterate appreciation and commitment to each other. And then it also deals with, it has I believe 6 propositions. Let me check quick so I don't get it wrong. Yes, 6 propositions. I'm going to read them off for you quick. First one is, wherever there is a distinctive culture, there is to be found a distinctive speech code. Like I said before, wherever you live or wherever you're from can be a different speech code. In any given speech community, multiple speech codes are deployed. A speech code involves a culturally distinctive psychology, sociology, and rhetoric. The significance of speaking demands on the speech codes used by speakers and listeners to create and interpret their communication. Number 5 is the terms, rules, and premises of speech code are inextricably woven into speaking itself. And then the last one is The artful use of shared speech code is a sufficient condition for predicting, explaining, and controlling the form of discourse about intelligibility, prudence, and morality of communication conduct. And then the last thing that he really talks about is performance and orthography. You might remember this from the quiz. Basically, performance and orthography is a research methodology a performance methodology committed to performance as both the subject and method of research, to researchers' work being performance and to reports of field work and being actable.